Okay, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. So just like we said, we go straight into the meat of the day, which is Nigerian stock markets. With what we are seeing now, are we having a market crash or a market correction? Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Dauda. Thank you, Mr. Johnson Musa, Mr. Franklin, Mr. Debayo. Thank you. So, good evening. Thank you so much. So, let's go straight into it. I don't think I need any further introduction, and I'll also be having a co-host today in person of Coach Benita. So, my name is Korede Alayaki, a chartered accountant by profession. So, we play in the Nigerian capital markets. And currently, what we have, is it a market crash or we have a market correction? That's what we are going to be looking at today. Because if you remember, the last time we met, which was the first week in August, the first Saturday in August, where I was looking at the charts. Maybe I should even present the charts now so that we can see where we were then. Permit me to present the chart on TradingView. Let me remove this screen now. Let me bring up the charts so that we'll see where we were that very day when I spoke about it. Remove. Few seconds for me to bring up the charts. So we'll see, are we having a market crash? And if you can remember that very day when I said it. Oh. I'm sorry, please. Few minutes, I'm sorry. I want to bring up the chart so we can see, so we can both see where we are in the Nigerian stock market currently before we dive into the matter. Wow. I'm sorry. Share screen. Okay. Can you see my screen now? Please. Okay, I've not added it to stage. Okay, so if you remember, when we met, I said we were somewhere around here that time. You can see that we have the green candlesticks. So the green simply means the buyers are in control. People are entering the market. People are just buying. The stock market is moving upwards. And if you look at it, then I was expecting it that by the time it gets to this 150 threshold, it will begin to come down. So at then we are around 130, I guess 136 or so. So, but looking at it now, when it got to 145 or 146, it began, you can see the red. If you remember that then, it was all green, no red. But this past week, we began to have this red. So the question is, especially for those who are new in the markets, is it a correction or is it a crash? Because this is one of the major reasons why people are skeptical of the stock markets in general, not just Nigerian stock market, all over the world. Whether the New York Stock Exchange, the Nasdaq 100, whether it is the Johannesburg, people are skeptical because they don't know whether when a market crash will occur, when market correction will occur. And people don't really pay attention to this. Many people just believe that, once it is a bull run, then we just continue to have a linear line. No, it's not going to be like that. And I just brought this out so that you can remember, as at the last time we met, which was first week in August, it was all green. We didn't have this red. So it is this red that we began to have. I said the moment I see one red, then that is an indicator that something there's a reversal. That is an indicator that there should be a reversal. It may not be a long reversal, or it could be a short one. We never can tell. And that's what we are going to be looking at in this training. So, but before we go into it, let's see how has the market fared so far this year. Because many people jumped into the markets. Maybe they had around July, especially in July. If you remember, I said July has been the best month ever in the history of the Nigerian stock markets, ever since this digital age. I don't know before the digital age, but since we can trade it ourselves, unlike before when we used to give it to stockbrokers that we have to fill a form, people have to fill a form, because then I wasn't investing. Maybe Coach Benita has been investing since, she has been doing it then. But for me, I never did anything of such. I started in this digital age where I can invest from the comfort of my phone, and I can invest in the Nigerian stock markets. So July was the best month ever. Then something that happened in August. President Tinubu signed the Naira Act 2025, which is the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Act of 2025, which by the time we went through it, we saw that, okay, it's really favorable to the insurance industry, and many people started entering the markets. So that was when people started entering the market, and suddenly now we now have rates in the market, and people are beginning to panic. And that is why we are here. So let's first of all look at it. How has the Nigerian market been since the beginning of this year? Because all this green that we can see on these charts now, on these very charts, all this green that we can see, it means some people, for instance, okay, I'm still going, don't let me rush ahead of myself. Some people bought stock. Let me say, for instance, Presco at the beginning of this year was selling for like 400 Naira per share. No, I think around a bit above 500 or so. And as of today, it's selling for 1,480, which means over double of mutual benefits. We are going to get there, where we are going to look at how the stock market has performed, because many people who entered in January, they have made profits. And what we are seeing now is what is it really telling us? So let's quickly go into that. Let me show you how the stock market has performed. And I need to say this. Let me remove this screen. Okay. So before we move on, can you write in the comment section, are you a trader or an investor? Or you have not even invested at all? If you have not invested at all, write no. If you have invested, are you a trader or investor, or both? Let me explain so that you will know, because I'm looking at it so that I will know the kind of people I'm talking to. When I say a trader, it means you go in and out of the markets. Oh, you are being told maybe, okay, Zen Bank is currently at 768 Naira now. You just buy it, and at a point in time, you see that now it is at 75 Naira, or let's say 76 Naira, then you come out. You come out with, let's say, 7 Naira gain. So you are an investor. So if you are an investor, it means you only grow your money. You only put money in the stock markets. You buy good stocks. Maybe you buy good stocks for long term. When I say long term, I mean 5 years, 10 years, and above. Okay, I can see that we have, okay, someone said no. Both, okay. Investor, long-term investor, okay. Both, okay. So we have both. Okay, we've only seen one no. Okay, so we have both investors and we have traders as well, but we don't have people who are pure traders. So that's one thing I've not seen in these charts. So we don't have pure traders. So we have investors, we have those who both trade and invest, and we have those who have not even done. I think we only have one. Now, so I haven't answered that. What is our goal for today? Number one, we look at the performance of the Nigerian stock market so far from January 1st to date. Then I will invite our my co-host, which is Coach Becca. She's already in the house. I will invite her to talk about market crash or market correction. Which one are we having? Then she will also talk about how should investors respond. How should you respond to this? Is it a time to react or respond? Then lastly, we look at the general overview. Now, let me quickly say this. As at this time, according to the Nigerian Security Exchange Commission, less than 5% adults of Nigerians invest in the Nigerian capital markets. Less than 5%. So if you're already investing or you are trading, count yourself, don't let me say lucky, but I will still say count yourself lucky, because less than 5% of the population of adults is investing in the Nigerian capital markets. This is according to the Security Exchange Commission. It's in the Punch last year. So please, can you still hold on for your question to the end? Don't worry, we'll answer your question. We'll answer your question. Don't worry. Even in the course of our lecture, you know whether you should hold on or not. So, but if it's still not clear or you are not certain, just ask your question. We'll answer your question. So please just hold on for us so that we'll not be distracted. Now, so if you are already in the Nigerian capital market and you are already investing, sincerely, you are on the right path, because Nigerian stock market is just picking up. And I can tell you that's why you see that investors are coming in now. Investors' confidence is there. I was going through the seminar being hosted by African Prudential this morning, and I can see how the economy is performing in terms when we talk about our GDP, when we talk about the inflation, when we talk about our foreign reserve, that it has been growing. Now, the question now is, why is it that we have less than 5 investing in the Nigerian capital markets? Number one is lack of understanding. Many of us, we had this notion of Nigerian capital market is a scam. Nigerian stock market is a scam just because of what happened in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, especially the market crash of 2007 and 2008. And that one was global. And just because many people's money became dust overnight, and people have been selling us that narrative, just because of that, many people don't like investing in the Nigerian capital markets, in the Nigerian stock markets, just because of what happened yesterday. But I can tell you that as of today, Nigerian stock market is well regulated, even though not 100% here, because I still see some loopholes, I still see some flop, when I compare to the US stock, because I also play in that market. So I still see some loopholes when it comes to the free float markets, when it comes to the liquidity. But I believe we are getting there. So it's different from the 2005, 2006, 2007. For instance, let me give you, I'm going to the next slide. I'm going to give you an instance of somebody who invested 4.5 million in a particular stock as at 2020, June 2020. And as at now, what it has done, you are going to see the slide. I'm sorry, I'm not sharing my slide. Wow. I'm sorry. Let me quickly share my slide before I come back to this. Okay. I'm so sorry. So, lack of understanding. Many people don't understand, and they just try to treat it as that it is a scam, it doesn't work, and things like that. It is only for the rich. Lack of understanding. Number two is market fluctuation, such as we are having now. When I say market fluctuations, there's something we call volatility. Market goes up and down. It doesn't go in a linear way, and it is not in a straight line. So there are fluctuations in the markets. And that's one of the things also we'll be looking at today. Then access challenges. Prior to this time, there were no apps. There were no trading platform where you can trade, where you can invest. You have to go to Lagos, then you have to connect with a stockbroker before you could. But people don't know that there are apps now. And many people are skeptical when it comes to this app. They are saying that what if the app crashes? Now, I need to say this here. There are many ways you can invest in the Nigerian stock market, but please, I want to plead with you. Make sure you are using a licensed stock brokerage firm. A licensed stock brokerage firm where you will be given a CSCS account and a clearinghouse number. A CSCS account and a clearinghouse number. So that in case anything happens, as long as you have your CSCS number, you are safe. CSCS is controlled by a government agency called the Central Clearing Control System. So as long as you have that and your CHN, you are safe. So whether you are using AfriInvestor 2.0, you are using Invest Now, you are using Invest Niger by Chapel Udeham, you are using Stanbic IBTC, you are safe. But just make sure it is a licensed stockbroker. And at the end, please, you can ask me the question to show you where you can find out whether the stockbroker you are using is licensed. We'll get to the ngsgroup.com. I will go and show you there. So you can find out whether the stockbroker you are using is licensed. You will even see the ones that have been delisted. So please, somebody should remind me at the end before we close. Then the last but not the least, which is the challenges why people are not yet investing in the Nigerian stock market, is preference for other investors. Many people believe that the only investment some people even know is real estate. Before I came to the capital market, before I came into the stock market, I was also doing real estate. I just believe so much in real estate. But until I got into the stock market, then I saw that there are so many opportunities in the Nigerian stock market. Let me show you this next slide. As at 2020, June 2020, I don't know whether some of us know this stock. If you know this stock, please type it. I know this stock. Presco PLC, they are into palm oil. Presco was selling as at June 2020 for 45 naira per share. Which means if you bought 100 shares then, 100, it will be 4.5 million naira. As at today of making this video, Presco is selling for 1,080 naira per share, which means your 100 shares, the 4.5 million naira you invested in 2020, would have become 148 million naira. I say that again. Your 4.5 million naira, as at 5 years ago, would have become 148 million naira today. So that's why I said, if you find yourself in the Nigerian stock market today, sincerely, count yourself lucky. Count yourself privileged. Count yourself privileged. Let me just use that word. Yes. It's located in Edo State and they are expanding. They are even coming up with a rights issue very soon. They had their AGM, I think, on Tuesday, and they have decided to raise 250 billion. They want to acquire some companies, I think, in Ghana. They want to expand. So, and I can still tell you that even at still this price, it is still a good buy. So, but let us continue. Yes, I said 100,000 shares. 100,000 shares. Sorry. 100,000 shares at 45 naira. Then you would have bought it at 4.5 million naira. Now, you would have bought it at 4.5 million naira. Now, 4.5 million naira in 2025, when Presco is now selling for 1,480, would have amounted to 148 million naira. So let's quickly look at how the Nigerian stock market has fared this year, before I now bring in Coach Benita to talk about whether we are having a market correction or a market crash. Mutual benefits this year alone, if you invested 1 million naira in it, your 1 million naira would have become 7 million naira by now. It has appreciated by 600% plus, 621% exactly, 621%. Better Glass has done over 500%. One company has done over 500%. So at times, it is not about buying all the stocks. You only need one outperformer or two. One or two. Then, before you know it, your portfolio is in green. Over five companies have done over 300%. 5 companies in this year alone, from January till now. 7 companies have done over 200%. 7 companies. Then over 34 companies have done 100%, over 100%. 34 companies, yes. Then 8 companies have done 90% plus. Then 27 companies have done 50 to 80% just this year alone. The question is, okay, if you are telling us the good side, what of the downside? No company, Suno Assurance has been down over 50%, but last week, 2 weeks ago, it picked up and eventually, so as at the time of making this video, no company has lost investors' money, as in that is more than 50%. That is more than 50%. So which means if you are started in January, but just like there's this adage that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, the next best time is now. So please, at this point in time, permit me to bring on my co-hosts for tonight, which is Coach Benita, to talk to us on, to enlighten us on, are we having a market correction or market? What is even the difference between these two? So that when we as investors, no, VFD Group did not lose a lot. It did not lose a lot. They did something called bonus issue. They did not lose a lot. It was selling at 92 naira per share. They did not lose. They did something called bonus issue. It was 5 for 1. So once they do bonus issue like that, once there is a bonus issue or a stock split, so there will usually be a proration. So when that proration happened, so we usually have something called there's this term we usually give it. So there was a proration. So that's why it came down to, I think, 18 naira per share. So it wasn't a loss. It wasn't a loss. They even gave I think 2 naira 50 kobo per share. So it wasn't a loss. VFD Group wasn't a loss. They've not lost a lot. It was bonus share. Okay, so let me bring on my co-host for tonight. You are welcome, Coach Benita. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Korede, and thank you everyone for having me. Good evening from wherever you're watching from. Okay, so like Mr. Korede has said earlier, from what he has said so far, I know some of us should have been able to tell if we're having a market crash or we're having a market correction. So before I continue, what exactly is market crash and what exactly is market correction? So let's take a quick look at what those two terms, let's take a quick look at what they really mean. So a market crash, a market correction, let me start from there, is a short decline in stock prices, usually from a high peak. So usually the stock market does not move in a linear progression. By linear progression, I mean it doesn't move on a straight line. Many people come into the stock markets with the mind of, okay, once I buy a stock, it will just continue to rise and rise and rise. And the stock market does not work that way. It retraces from time to time, and but on the long run, if you are invested in a solid stock, then it continues to progress. So recently, are we having a stock crash? Are we having a stock crash, market crash, or a market correction? Now, what we have at the moment is just a decline in the stock prices. It's just a short fluctuation in the market prices, and this will usually last for, let's say, typically a few weeks before the market continues to rally again. So market correction is just a short decline in stock prices, usually from a recent peak. Okay, let me use I think during the last webinar, somebody was asking about USCN, and at that time, USCN was about 88 naira, and somebody was asking, should I buy at 88 naira? Now, that stock went, after that seminar, that stock went from 88 naira to about 106 naira or thereabouts. And I was thinking that, okay, this person that had will have felt, oh, I would have bought the stock at 88 naira if only she told me to buy. But you know what? Just suddenly after that, I saw USCN begin to come down, and it touched 68 naira. And for somebody who knows how to bargain in the market very well, when it touched 68 naira, you could still buy as low as 62 naira. Now look at what happened from 106 to 68 naira. Was that a market correction? Let's find out. Now, after that particular stock touched 68 naira, then it picked up again and began to move. And currently, we have USCN at 79 naira. So, do we call that a market crash? We'll find out very soon. So, what exactly is a market crash? A market crash is a severe decline over a short period of time. Now, for market crash, you have a severe decline. Let's say that USCN, now this is for instance, now this is not a real life situation. Let's say you move from that 106 now to 20 naira, then you'll have known that something is terribly happening in that sector, in the FMCG sector. But what we just had was a retracement from 106 to 68. Now it's back to 79, and before you know it, it will continue to go up until it returns to where it came from and even higher. So what we have currently in the markets, I don't know, I can't see the comment section, but from what I've said, I would like to know, can you tell me, from those that are watching, can you tell, is this a market correction or is a market crash? Let me get responses before I continue. Is this a market correction or a market crash from what I've explained so far? Okay, Mr. Corey, let me know what people are saying in the comment section. I want to be sure because
Mr. Christopher said is a market correction. Mr. Femi
market
said is a market
correction.
correction. Okay.
Market correction.
Mr. Dauda said is a
Okay.
market correction. Mr. Franklin,
Market
market
correction.
correction.
Okay, thank you very much. So from what we have said now is established that what we have in the market now is not a crash, but just a correction. So that takes me to why exactly do we have market crash or market correction? All right, so for market correction, the reason why we have market correction is because just like Mr. Korede was asking the other time, he was asking, do we have traders in the house? We have investors, and some people said they were investors from what he said. Now, it's not just investors that come into the market. The same way investors come into the market, we also have traders in the market. Some people are in the market to make money, and some people are in the market to multiply money. So make money, we call them traders. So they come into the market majorly because they want to make money within a short period of time. So what happens? See what happened in the last 2 weeks when the news about the insurance stock came out, and you see that insurance sector began to boom 100%, 150%, 200% in just 1 week. In between 1 week and between a week or two, we see those insurance stock rally so much and a lot of people made money. And what did you see after that? Immediately after like 5-10 days, you realize that some of those insurance stocks began to come down. You see stocks that were on full bid going on full offer. That means people that bought those stocks were now ready to sell. Why? Because they are already in profits. Imagine somebody that came into the insurance sector with 10 million naira already having like 20 something million naira. Somebody of such is a trader who also wants to pull out the money from the market. So what we just experienced is traders coming into the market. Now I'm talking about market correction now. So why we have market correction is because we have traders in the market who come with the aim of making money. They bring in their money. Once they make profits, they pull out their money from the market. So when this pulling out of profits from the market happens, we begin to have correction. So profit taking is one of the reasons why we have market correction. Another one is response to economic data. Now let me continue with the story, with the issue of the insurance sector that I was talking about. Now, when that news came about the insurance sector, it was a favorable one that it's made the insurance sector to rally so high. But what if it was an unfavorable news? We realize that once there's an unfavorable news, the stock market also begins to come down, especially maybe a particular sector. If there's a news about a particular sector, prices in that sector will now begin to come down. So that also happens, and that is just a market correction and not a market crash. Another one is Another one is when we have high fixed income rates. Now, when you see money market fund, federal government savings bonds, treasury bill, when you see them so high, like you have like 25%, 26%, you see that especially those that have low risk appetite and low risk tolerance, you see them bringing out their money from the stock markets, especially those that made profit, taking it into these fixed income assets so that they know that their investment is more secure, because the fixed income assets, they are usually more secured than the stock. So people pull out funds from stock markets, take it to fixed income markets when the interest rate is high. But what do we see recently? As of January, I think we had FJ saving bonds at 19%, 19.9%, 18.9%, and you see a big decline from January even to the last FJ saving bonds. We now have like 15 point something percent. Now there's a decline in the fixed income market, and it's made people pull funds from the fixed income market now to the stock market. But what if reverse was the case? If they have a high interest rate in the fixed income assets, then definitely people will pull out funds from the stock markets into the fixed income market. So these are things that can make the markets, you have swings in the markets, and you see that you have correction in the markets. But what about a market crash? Why do we have a market crash? Now in 2027, 20, okay, in 2028, we had a
Hello,
major.
ma. Hello, ma.
All right, sir.
We are having issue with your network. Is cracking.
Oh my God.
We
Okay.
can hear you, boys. There's a crack.
Okay, but
Can you just change your
let me see if I
network?
can.
Can you switch your network? So sorry, let's just give her for her to switch network.
Is it better in any way? Can you hear me now?
Okay, continue.
All right. Okay, so what was the last thing you had so that I can pick it up from there?
Okay, Mr. Also John helped us to recap that. I said high interest in fixed income asset can also lead to market correction.
Okay, you want me to take it up from there?
Yes, where we are talking about the fixed income, I think the relationship between the
Right.
fixed income market and the stock
All
market.
right. Okay, I'll just take it up from there. So I was saying the other time that when we have high fixed income rates, like there was recent as of January, we had treasury bills about 24% and upward. We have federal government savings bond at 20%. We had money market fund also over 20%. Now, when there is high fixed income rates, especially for those that have low risk appetite and low risk tolerance, those that don't want to lose, they can't afford to lose even their interest, let alone their capital. Now, fixed income assets are safe and secured assets because it's backed up by the government. So people pull out funds from the stock market to the fixed income market because they know it's more secured when there is high interest rates. But now take a look at what happened in August. Now we had the federal government savings board that came out about 15 point something percent, and a lot of people were discouraged. So many people will move their funds from that market into the stock market because the stock market is doing well, is doing better than what the fixed income market is currently doing. So now what I'm saying is, for market correction, when there is high fixed income rates, people tend to move funds from the stock markets into the fixed income markets. And when there is low fixed income rates, people tend to move funds from the fixed income markets into the stock markets. So because of all of this, funds come into the market and goes out of the market, and this is also responsible for some of the swings we have in the stock market. So I hope we got that. So that's one of the reasons why we have correction. Then I was talking about the crash, the market crash. Now, one of the market crash that happened, that one of the major market crash that happened in the stock market happened in 2028. In 2008, and it was a global financial crisis. And this triggered a prolonged market crash, long time. And you realize that for those that are much more older now, you see people in their 50s, people in their 60s, talk to them about stock markets now, they are so skeptical. Now, it's not for any other reason. It's because some of them have experienced this major global market crash in 2008, and they don't even want to hear anything when you talk about stock markets. They are not interested. Yes, I was also affected with what happened in 2020, 2008. I was also investing in so many stocks in 2008, and the stock market crash also affected me. But I'm still here and I'm still standing. So that's market crash is usually prolonged, is usually severe and prolonged, unlike when we have a market correction. And another one we had recently was the one that happened in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this is not a major market crash. We realize that this just happened and it affected certain sectors. Now, in 2020, you realize that for, let's say, aviation, people were not traveling.
Hello, ma.
So
Please,
sectors
ma.
in those in,
Hello, ma. Can you help
hello,
us
Mr.
switch your
Korede.
network? We are sorry. Can you
Oh
help
my
us
God.
switch your network again? As Mr. Oyenka said, we can't hear you. There's a crack.
Oh my God.
Maybe you switch
I'm
to your
currently running
mobile.
on 2 networks just because of this. I'm using 2 networks at the same time. I don't know if it's better. Please, can you
Please,
help me? Can you tell me if it's better now?
can we have it in your comment section, please? Can we get the feedback? Can you hear her clearly, or there's a crack? Can someone help us with that, please? Okay, Mr. Gbemi said I can hear you clearly.
You can hear me clearly, okay? So I
Okay,
believe some
it's
people
better
might
now.
also have network
Okay.
issues in their respective places. I wouldn't know.
Okay, so you can continue, ma'am.
All right, so let me pick it up from the market crash that I was talking about. And I was talking about the market crash that happened in 2008, where a lot of people invested in stocks and it came crashing to the barest minimum. And when this happened, foreign investors pulled out funds even from the Nigerian economy, and you see the stock go so low, so down that people's funds lost a lot of value. People's funds lost a lot of value in 2028, and that 2028 and 2008, I beg your pardon, that 2008, I was also well invested in the stock market, and I was part of the people that it affected. But guess what? Between 2008 and now, most of those stocks, in fact, those stocks are really bounced back. Why? Because I played the long-term game. I was invested in the market for a long term and not a short term. So I was also talking about the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic that happened, and we could call this a market crash, but it wasn't a major market crash. Why did I say so? Now, this affected in the economy. Take, for instance, I was talking about the transportation sector. You realize that during the pandemic, people were in the house. It was a stay-at-home time. So there was nothing much happening in the transportation sector. Look at the aviation sector. Nothing much was happening in that sector. When you check so many sectors, except for maybe the food industry and the health industry. So for someone who is not invested in food industry, health industry, who is invested in other sectors that were not active during that period, you realize that the value of their stock at that period will come down. Their portfolio will be in red. Why? Because there was a minor crash as at that time. But between 2020 and 2025, we realize that there has been a serious increase in the market. So people who even invested in 2020 till date, their portfolio will be in a robust form at the moment. So and what also usually happens during the market crash also, what happens is people begin to sell also. There's also a panic sell during the pandemic, just like people panic sell during correction also. There's also a panic sell during market crash as well. So those are some of the reasons why we have market crash and market correction. So over to you, Mr. Korede.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Please, can I see in the comment section if you can hear me before I carry on?
I think your line is also breaking.
Okay. So, Coach Benita, what should be okay? Thank you. So, what should be their response, investors' response now to this matter on ground, to this market correction? What should they do? Thank you, Mr. Christopher. Thank you, Madam Stella. Okay, thank you, Mr. Thank God. Coach Benita, what should they do? What should be their response? What should be their disposition to this? Should they begin to sell off just like I think someone was asking around in the beginning? So there's no crash now. From what she has told us, there's no crash. If it were to be a crash, there will be a massive sell-off. But we can see that people are taking profit. So from what she said, people are just taking profit, especially the traders. And let me just buttress what happened, especially in the insurance sector, because many people are still buying the insurance sector. Fine, the NIRA Act 2025, which made the insurance sector to spike, it has been signed, but it is yet to be gazetted. That's number one. And from when it is being gazetted, and the time of implementation, there's usually a 12-month window. So the 12-month window, we make the, yes, she's coming back to that. She will talk about what to do. Let me remove her then, add her back. I'm coming. Okay, Coach Benita, can you see us? Can you hear us?
You can hear you, Mr. Korede.
Okay, thank you. So the actual implementation of the NIRA Act, because just like I said, is yet to be gazetted. Some of these insurance companies that cannot meet up with the recapitalization, some of them are going to pull out. Some are going to be delisted. Some are going to merge. Some are going to be acquired. Currently on the GX, okay, there are some stocks not doing well even before this correction. Should we sell those ones? Okay, we'll come back to that. I will not. Please help us to come back with that question. We want to set up this issue, as in talk about some issues, then we'll come back to those questions. Now, by the time this is now implemented, so just like I said, some insurance companies will be delisted, some will be, they are going to go into merger and acquisition, and some are going to offer rights issue just to raise that capital, in order for them to raise that capital to meet up the threshold that NICOM has given to them, I think 25 billion. Now, so is this going to continue? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So if you want to invest, for instance, make sure they are solid insurance companies that have solid fundamentals. When I say solid fundamentals, I mean their financial health is solid. So expect a market correction for all these insurance companies that we are having now. Definitely, there will still be a massive sellout, because it's still going to take a 12-month window before they actually begin to make those money they are talking about. All this, what's it called? We are talking about all this insurance being compulsory, that is going to be compulsory for them. So it's still going to take like 12 months. And they are not going to continue like this. So I hope so let's just get that one settled. They are still going to have rights issue. And most times when you usually have rights issue, stocks will first of all retrace, because many sellers will want to take up the rights issue and they want to sell off. Now, Coach Benita, what should they do? What should be their response to this market correction? Should they sell off, or should they hold, or they should stay in the market, or they should buy more?
Mr. Korede, can you repeat that question, please?
Okay, what should they do now? What should they do? What should the investors do? We are addressing investors specifically, because if you are a trader, I'm coming, man. If you are a trader, you should know, always have an entry and an exit plan. Your exit plan is not dependent on external factor. It is made dependent on price action. When I say price action, you look at the charts and you look at the sentiments in the markets. And you can also trade the news. I remember when Better Glass released the news, I released it. I told some people on our WhatsApp who have taken the course 2.0. I told them, I said, this is going to cause Better Glass to spike. And the following week, it came on fire. When Okomu and Presco was to start this journey, a news came out that the palm oil is now is being demanded in the international market. I said this news is going to make these stocks to spike. I remember both of them, one was around 500 plus 560 then. Okomu was 560, Presco was around 700. I said this news that just came out is going to make these two to spike again. And eventually, what do we have now? Okomu is around 1,020 and Presco is around 1,480. So if you are a trader, please always have an entry and an exit plan that is based on, number one, price action, number two, sentiments in the market, number three, you can base it on the news. So your price action, your trading should stand on those three legs. What is the mood of the market? Is it bullish or is it bearish? Look at the price action. What is the high? What is the all-time high of this stock? What is the all-time low of this stock? That is number two. Number three, trade the news. What is the news saying concerning this stock or concerning this industry? For instance, you can see what is happening in the oil and gas. Aside from Caverton this year, almost all the oil and gas have been down. Even the other day that many people believe in. So what should they do, Coach Benita? What should they do? What should the investors do now that we are having market correction? Before we now come to the stocks that have not been performing well even before the market correction.
All right, thank you. Yes, I can hear you. All right, thank you, Mr. Korede. So what investors' response should be to what we have currently? So now let me first establish the fact that every investor coming into the market should know that the market will not move in an upward, will not move in a linear progression. Like I said earlier, there will always be swings in the market. So I want us to establish that first of all. And another thing I want us to also establish is that the current correction is a healthy one, and what investors are expected to do is, first of all, stay calm. Don't panic. It's not a time to panic. Now, I know that especially for those that have a low risk appetite, low risk tolerance now, when you see your stock declining, the fear is there. Sometimes you cannot even sleep well because you feel like you have invested so much money into it and it's as if your money is going down. Let me also establish that there is no loss in the stock market and there is no profit in the stock market until you sell. So if you have bought a stock maybe to the value of ₦1 million and it's currently ₦5 million, all your ₦4 million profit is on paper. And if you bought from ₦1 million and it's currently ₦300,000, all your loss is also on paper until you sell. Now I'm saying this so that we will not panic sell, because it is when you actually sell that you have made that loss if you are currently in a loss. And if you're in profits, it is when you sell also that you also make profits. So what am I saying? First of all, your response as an investor is don't panic. Stay calm. Another one I would say is yes, they should stay calm and not panic. Please let me get a response if they can hear me now, because I don't know what it is with my network.
Please, can you type that if you heard that? Don't panic. So that is the response. It is a market correction. Don't panic. Don't begin to sell off.
Yeah, that's the first response.
Please don't panic. Don't sell off in a loss. If you are in profits and you are satisfied with that profit, you can sell. But please don't sell off. Don't panic. So from what she's telling us now. Okay, thank you. They can hear you, ma. They can hear you.
All right. Yes, thank you very much. So the first one is don't panic, stay calm. The other one I would say is it time to reassess your portfolio. Now that you can see how your stock portfolio is doing, you can see the stocks that is weathering the storm. Now there's a storm in the market, there's a swing in the market. You know the stocks that can weather the storm. So reassess your portfolio, check what is going on. Check your stocks. Are you invested in solid stocks? Are you invested in stocks that can weather the storm of time? So you want to reassess your portfolio at this time. And this is also a time that there is opportunity in the market. Now, I'll give this illustration. I usually like to give illustration with a supermarket each time I'm talking about stocks. Now imagine that there's a particular product you always use. Let's say that product sells for like say 1,000 naira, and you usually buy these products. You stock it up at 1,000 naira. If you visit the mall again and you find this stock at 700 naira, I'm sorry, and you find this product at 700 naira, what would be your response? This products you use on a regular basis. Now the product sells for 1,000 naira, you stock it up. If you find it for 700 naira, what should be your response? It means that you want to buy more. That means it is stock on discount. So this current market correction is a stock on sale. It's like there's a tag on it. I'm on sale. Buy me. The stock market is just telling you, I'm on sale, buy me. So when others are seeing it as a time to exit the market, panic sell, you are seeing it as an opportunity. So as an investor, the way you see things should differ. When others are selling, you are buying. Type in the comment section, when others are selling, I'm buying. When others are selling, I'm buying. So that it can stick in your mind. When others are selling, is a time to buy. When the stock is on sale, is a time to buy. So this is an opportunity for you in the market. Say for instance, when okay, I'll go back to USCN now. When USCN sold for 106 or thereabouts, people bought at 106, but now it's currently at 79 naira. Is that not on sale? Now I'm talking about a solid stock now. I'm not talking about stocks that don't have good fundamentals. And by fundamentals, I mean you have checked their books, you have seen that they have good records, and they have the interest of their stock shareholders at heart now. So I'm talking about stocks with good fundamentals. So when you see that these stocks has come down, is a buying opportunity for you as an investor. So number one, I said stay calm, don't panic. I said it's a time to reassess your portfolio, and I've also mentioned that it's an opportunity to buy at discounts. Now, I heard when you were mentioning that somebody has a question that for those of them that are now in red, what should they do? Should they sell? Now, let me tell you quickly. If you had bought high and you sell low, you're making a loss, don't forget. But it baffles me when I see people chasing the stock. There was a seminar I did, and I was telling, I think it was the last seminar I held with Mr. Koredi, and I was telling people, don't run after a moving train. Don't run after a moving train. When you see a needs to go and wait for the next train. USCN train left at 88, came back at 68. Do you understand what I'm saying in the comment section? When the USCN train came at 68, at 88, people were asking, should I buy? This was a stock that was gaining every day. So when most times what investors do is when they see stocks gaining in the market, they rush to buy. They want to be part of that trade, forgetting that there will still be another trade in the market. Now, when they buy high and the stock begins to decline, they want to sell. So you buy high and you sell low. So you keep making losses consistently. And that's why some people feel like the stock market is a scam. But what should you do as an investor? You're doing the reverse. When others are chasing the stock and selling when it's low because they are afraid of the stock declining, you are not chasing the stock. You are waiting for when it's low. You are buying it and waiting for it to go high. So the reverse should be your response as an investor. So one thing you should know is tell yourself, I'm an investor. I'm an investor. If you type in the comment section, I'm an investor. And the mind of an investor should be that you buy when you buy when the stock is low, and you stay in it. Now there's this Warren Buffett quote that I have. He said, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Now, when you see a stock rallying and going so high, 10% first day, 10% second day, 10% third day, you see people chasing after the stock. Now, people are greedy, they want to make gains there. It's not a time for you to run after it. So what do you do? Buy when others are fearful. Now is the time that people are fearful. There's a market correction now. People are afraid to buy because they see they decline in their stock. But for you as an investor, it is an opportunity. It is a time for you to buy. So let me continue. The first one I mentioned, stay calm, don't panic sell. reassess your portfolio. I'm saying this so that we can stick well into our minds. See it as an opportunity to buy on discounts, then be patient. Play the long term game. In the stock market, time in the market always overrun time in the market. When you stay long in the market, it pays better than you trying to time when the stock goes deepest. You can never tell the deepest the stock market will go. That means I'm talking about the candles now. For those that understand technical analysis, I'm talking about those candles. You can't tell how low it will go because you are not the major determinant of what happens in the stock market. So the longer you stay in the market, the better. Now, Mr. Credit was talking about the stock the other time, was talking about Presco at 45 naira just in 2020. Now, this is 2025. That stock is 1,480 naira. Now, a stock like NACO in 2020 was about maybe 5 naira or 2 naira or thereabouts. The crash affected it. The pandemic affected that stock. It's an aviation company, NACO. Today, that stock is about 104 naira just in the space of 5 years. How many percent should we call that? Thousands of percentages. Now, for those who bought at that time, because for every seller, it means there's a buyer. For every seller, there's definitely a buyer. So when you are selling your stock because it's declining, somebody who understands the game in the stock market is buying and waiting till that stock rises. So be patient. The market rewards the patience. Focus on the long term, and I can tell you that in a matter of time, you'll be doing very, very well, provided you are invested in solid stocks. So let me take that question again. It said, what should you now do for those of you that you have a decline in your stocks? Two things you should do. One, if you're invested in solid stocks, it's a time to DCA. By DCA, it means dollar cost averaging. So I'll call it Naira cost averaging now. That means that, for instance, let's say you bought a stock 1,000 units at 80 Naira, and the stock is currently selling at 60 Naira. You could just buy another 1,000 Naira units, and that reduces your purchase price to 70 Naira. So instead of having 25% decrease in your portfolio, now you're having about, say, 12% decrease. So once the market begins to correct, you are back to 70 naira on time, waiting for the market to go back to 80 naira. So with just 10 naira increase, you are back to break even. That means just the same price the stock is in the market is what the same price you are at the moment also. I don't know if you got that. So one thing you want to do is, first of all, if it is a solid stock, now I'm emphasizing solid stocks, because you don't just buy stocks randomly and you begin to average down, just pumping in money into stocks that you should not pump your money into. So if you have bought a solid stock, one, you want to average down. And this is one reason why I always tell people that cash is king. One of the good decisions you also make as an investor sometimes is not even investing at all. Now, people that kept their funds when this market was rallying and going so high, now that the market is low, they will pump in their funds into the market. So cash is always king. One, I said average down. You want to average down, buy more of those stocks so that it reduces your current price. Another thing you want to do is, even if you cannot average down, don't panic. Wait for those stocks to retrace. It might take a while, but it will definitely retrace. So that should be your response as an investor. Over to you, Mr. Korede.
Thank you so much, Coach Benita. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so just like
Okay,
she
sorry,
said,
Mr. Korede. Let me add this quickly. Let me add this quickly. Yes, I was saying the other time that, okay, can I go on? Mr. Korede, can I go on?
go on, you can go on.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, the other thing I was trying to remember the other time, yeah, I said the first thing is average down. The second one is if you don't have cash to average down, just be patient. But if you also have cash and you don't want to be invested in the same stock, then you can diversify. Now, the other time I was talking about diversification. You don't want to buy, like the other time I was talking about reassessing your portfolio. Now, imagine somebody that bought all banking stocks, and there's a news from the government that does not favor the banking stocks. What you will see is a serious decline in your stocks because you are invested in just one sector instead of diversifying. So, for instance, if you have invested in, for instance, this year the oil sector has not done so well, does not rally so well. We don't have profits yet in the oil sector, but I tell you that that sector is just waiting to happen. It's just giving investors room to buy before we leave it for those that are not investors, because the non-investors will come in. The investors know when is the right time to buy. So let me give it there. So what am I saying? Diversify. If you have assessed your portfolio and you have seen that, okay, I have a solid banking stock, I have a solid FMCG, I have a solid insurance stock, I have a solid aviation stock, then you want to look into another sector. Look for when you want to when you want to invest in another sector, pick all the stocks in that sector, assess their fundamentals and pick the best. So you want to diversify, don't just sit in one sector. During the week I was assessing somebody's portfolio that was over diversified, and I was seeing this person invest in the same sector. Now that was, I don't know if some of you know that I'm a portfolio builder, and when I see things like this, I can easily cite that, oh, this is a weakness in your portfolio. So I see weaknesses in people's portfolio that I know that, oh, this is not what you should do. This is not what you should do. Okay, let's sell this to buy this now because you're over invested in this particular sector. So that's another thing. When you have reassessed your portfolio, you want to diversify if you are too invested in a single sector. All right, thank you, Mr. Korede.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. Okay, before I move on, before we now begin to take questions, okay, before we begin to take questions, I've tried documents on questions as we see them on the Coach Benita, can you see the comment section?
Oh no, please, I can't. I don't have access to the comment section.
Okay, don't worry, don't worry.
Yes, you can just read the questions to me, then I will take it.
It's all right.
All right,
No
thank you.
problem. Okay, so before we move on, I need to say this. Let me bring it up. Okay, so Coach Benita will be having a live trading because this is another aspect where some people miss it. We only use apps, but let me cite an example. She was able to buy stocks. She was able to buy Aradel yesterday, Friday, at 419 naira. 419 naira for a client. Now, I'm sure by the time you check your app, you will see it as 519. If you are buying from an app, you will buy at 519. But she was able to buy at 490 because she uses a trading platform. There are things she uses. For me, I'm more of an investor. But she trades, she still trades, she has clients, she manages their portfolio. So she will be having a live trading on Wednesday by 10. The Nigerian stock market opens between 10 a.m. in the morning and 2:30. So if you want to trade, you need to be in the market at that point in time, especially in the early hours of the day, which is the 10 a.m. to around 11, if you really want to maximize, or towards the close of the day. So she will be having a live trading on Wednesday. But for those who will be able to access this live trading are those who have taken our course, the CIF Academy course on Nigerian shares and stocks. And the reason is not far-fetched. We believe that there are basic knowledge we need to have when it comes to these shares and stocks investments. And that gives you access to our WhatsApp group where you can ask questions on shares and stocks. You can ask questions, okay, you want to buy this, is it a good buy? All those questions you can ask on that group. So on Wednesday, she'll be having a live trading. It will be a closed group, a closed session for those who have taken our course, CIF Academy. I think the link, it should be in the link of this video. It should be in the description section. The link, the course 1.0, the course 1.0 is free, but 2.0 is not free. So, and it is 2.0 that grants you access to the WhatsApp group. And okay, how much will it cost for your portfolio valuation? Majorly, you sit down together to, let me type out the website. It's cifacademy.com. It should be, just check the description of this video. You will see of this live. You will see the link to the website there. You can see NSSI 2.0. Okay, now we need to say this. If you are asking your question, when you say, is it a good buy? We don't know whether it is for short term or it is for medium term or it's for long term. To me, if it is for long term, for instance, I'm not so much concerned about price. I only need to know that, okay, what is the region in which it is right now? For instance, if you ask me, livestock, is it a good buy? If it is for long time, definitely you know that by the time you do even what we call qualitative analysis, because we do something called qualitative analysis. I'm releasing the video, I think, on Monday on YouTube, called qualitative analysis. Now, you will understand that livestock, for instance, is a good company to buy for long term if you do qualitative analysis. I've not even gone to quantitative analysis, but it is for long term because you look at the industry in which they are. So that's for that person who is asking for long term. Then somebody asks entry price for Nessu for long term, entry price for Nessu. I don't have Nessu in my portfolio. I don't know whether Coach Benita has it in her portfolio. Do you have Nessu in your portfolio? Are you tracking Nessu?
Oh, currently, I don't have Nessu in my portfolio now, but I'm trying to see if I can access that site. Let me see how much it traded. I don't have Nessu on my watch list.
You don't have Nessu on your watch list, okay?
Yeah, I don't have Nessu on my watch list. So usually, basically,
I have it on my watch list. Let me bring it. I'm sorry, ma.
No, what I mean by I don't have it on my watch list is when you have a stock on your watch list, you keep checking what happens day to day.
Okay,
so with that information, you know when it is a good buy and when it is not a good. It's not just what happens in a single day, it's what happens on daily basis. So by that, you are able to make a decision. But I can work on that if the person can join our free WhatsApp group, ask the question again, and I'll work on that. But I'm trying to gain access into my portfolio now. Let me see how much that stock is trading for.
Okay, is the session recorded? Yes, it's recorded. You can access it on this channel. You can access it, and the link to subscribe to Coach Benita's YouTube channel is also in the description of this video. So you can subscribe to our channel. That's where she'll be having the live trading, especially if you have taken the course 2.0 and you are on the group. So kindly click on the description below. You'll see the link to follow, to subscribe to our channel, so that by the time the link is dropped on Tuesday, you can follow, you can join immediately. You can join. Okay, so let me bring it up. Nessu. Coach Benita says she doesn't have it on her watch list yet. Okay. But as long as you know it's a good solid stock, I don't think you should have any issue with that. This is my watch list by the side.
Nestle is a solid stock, but I can't tell the entry price at the moment.
It has not even, I don't think it has really moved these days. Looking at this chart, so even you can see that I will not be able to talk about the entry price. Looking at these charts, I hope you can see the chart. Unlike the one let me show you maybe VFD, for instance. This VFD, you can see that the chart is not so straight because of the volume. It has not done volume of recent. So that's why we have it. You can see, we can't really see what is happening. It has not done volume. Let me show
Okay.
you VFD, for instance, or maybe T. You will see, you can see it's different from this. You can see that the Nestle chart I just opened up is totally different from VFD. You can see that there has been activity on these accounts. There has been activity. Okay, so let me come back to the comment section to see whether we still have questions. How can you subscribe for your free WhatsApp group? The free, you should see the link also in the description below the channel. Once you follow the channel, from the channel, you'll be able to access our WhatsApp group, the free one. Yes. So somebody also asked, mutual benefits, is mutual benefit a solid stock? The last I checked their last quarter, first half, and their financials for the last quarter is good. Okay, what is the cost of the cost 2.0? It's 45,000. For the one free one is free. The cost 1.0 is free. The cost 2.0 is 45,000. Okay, so mutual benefits. The last, what's it called? I checked the last fundamental financial I checked. It was okay. Okay, when we write issue of VFD starts, it has not been, it's yet to be stated. It's yet to be stated. Yeah. Okay, what is the insurance to take position now for a long time? This cannot be ascertained now. And I will tell you the reason. Just like I said, some insurance companies are still going to merge. We are still going to see merger and acquisition. Currently, we have like 17 of them on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. All over in Nigeria, in total, we have 55 insurance companies. I think 55 plus. But on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, we have 17. So some are still going to merge. Some are still going to be account, while some are still going to have offer rights issue. So until those modalities begins to come out, that's when we can now begin to say, okay, now we can see. But if you are to look by their current financial health, I would say the ones that I know personally is maybe mutual benefits. I know of ICO. I know that ICO also is good. That's their financials.
Custodian name.
Okay, custodian name. I know that I know Coach Benita talks about custodian name. What about Veritas Cap?
Yeah, Veritas Cap has been punished. They released a two-time poor results. So Veritas was punished. For some of you that don't know, Veritas is also owned, is the insurance sector under Zenith. So that stock got punished because they released two times consistently bad results. So, but these recent results, we are still waiting to see how they want to continue to perform. So Veritas Cap should have been a good and a solid stock, but we are still trying to see how they will perform.
Okay, so then share your experience with us on Veritas Cap. You said at a point you were in minus 23, right?
Oh
Then what now
yes, I
happened?
bought Veritas Cap. Was it early this year now? I bought around
Yes, I did tell you to sell.
120 something kobo, and now, like I said the other time, that buy when others are selling, sell when others are buying. Now, when that stock got punished and people were selling off, I started buying. In fact, I was buying and I had a desired units in mind that I wanted to buy. Unfortunately, I didn't reach my desired units before the stock began to fly. So I was in after buying that stock, it started to decline because after I bought it, there was another quarter result that was released, and it was not a good result. So people, of course, just like I said, people will panic sell with things like that. People sold, and for some of us that understand what happens in the market, we waited patiently. Now, when this news on the insurance stock happened and the stock market began to, the insurance stock sector began to gain momentum at over, I sold, I think over 100%, in over 100% profit, and I took my profits out of Veritas Cap. So why I'm saying this, because initially I think I was in minus 22 and I stayed because I understand how this stock market works. So
Okay.
That's my experience with Rector Cap.
Okay, thank you for that, ma. I said this to say, I asked that question in order to say this because some people said they have stocks that are in losses now. So should they sell off? I don't usually advise people to sell at a loss. I don't usually advise people to sell at a loss because except the company, the stock has a going concern issue or they have financial issues. So except for that, there's no need. At a point in time, just like she said, her Veritas cap was at minus 23, 22. But eventually she came out at over 100%. So that stock you are seeing today, before you know it, tomorrow can just pick up. I remember she also spoke about some stocks she has, I think you spoke about Univision, if I'm right, that you
Yeah.
were at a
Univision
loss.
at 60 cover.
Yes,
Gimme
and you were
insurance
eventually
at
sold. You cannot.
88
Okay.
cover thereabout.
So please don't sell because you are currently at a loss. As long as you believe in the company, stay. The company will still pick up. Okay. So somebody asked about TIP. TIP is a very good buy, especially for long term. TIP, the initial PSC, I've made a video on it, is a good buy for long term. But they are offering rights issue, and it's going to start soon at 7 naira per share. 7 naira per share. TIP is offering rights issue at 7 naira per share, and the current market price is 12 naira. So if you already have it in your portfolio, and except you know you still want to accumulate more and you are going to take up your rights issue, just know how to balance that. But if you know that you just want to top up, then wait for the rights issue to start. So that is for TIP. ICO, you can hold ICO for a long time. It depends on the reason why you bought. I don't know the reason why you bought, if it is for long term or for
You can
short
hold
term
it.
gain. So, but as I remember, somebody who took the cost 2.0 at a point, there were 4 stocks that were recommended to me. Say, okay, what stock should I buy? And at a point in time, all the 4 stocks, they were in losses. The guy sent me, and I don't know even whether he's on this live. He sent me a screenshot of the 4 losses that currently is in red. And he asked me a simple question. He says, should I average down? You know the reason why he asked that question? Because he has taken the cost 2.0, because he now knows what is called averaging down. And eventually, when the stocks were in profit, ICO was part of it, Ella Lakes was part of it, I think CWG, then he now said, okay, can I sell off? I said, you said you just want to make this percentage, and now you have made even more. His ICO made over 100%. He asked, okay, should I leave this one? I said, leave this one for long term, if it is for long term. What am I trying to say? He had the knowledge. So when he was in red, the 4 stocks were in red, he did not panic. He said, should I average down? And I said, okay, just wait. Let's see the second quarter results. Then it was the second quarter results we are expecting. I said, let us see what the results is. Immediately I saw the results, I said, don't worry, they will pick up now. And eventually, I think 2 weeks after, they picked up, and he said, can I sell? Okay, you can sell, you can sell, you can sell. But for this one, can I leave it? I said, leave this one. If it is for long term, it's already in profits. And I've mentioned some of those. So, okay, somebody is asking Sunu Assurance. I don't really know about Sunu Assurance, but I know that Sunu Assurance had a massive run last year. That's the reason why it's currently in a dip now. It's currently in a dip, I think 43%. It's currently in a dip. It had over 600% last year. So it has its own, what's it called? Its own massive run, impulse move last year. So I have not checked their what's it called, their financials at all this year. WAPIC, I don't really know about WAPIC. After TIP price issue, will the stock go up or down? After the rights issue, immediately after the closure of rights issue, TIP is going up. I must be sincere with you. Their last quarter results was very, I can tell you, it's very okay. Last quarter results was okay, as in TIP, and TIP has a future. They want to expand into other countries. That's the reason for the rights issue. Okay. You have not talked about universal insurance. Okay. Okay. Coach Benita, can you say something about universal insurance? I don't know about universal insurance. I've not checked it.
Yeah, I'm not saying this to put any stock down or put any company down, but I'm not a solid believer. I've never been a solid believer of that stock. Now, universal insurance is some of the stock I bought around 2007. And when I say 2007, I'm talking about 18 years ago. And if I bought a stock 18 years ago and that stock has not even done, I'm not sure that stock is up to 3 naira as we speak per share. So if a stock in 18 years have not so much moved up till now, I'm not, I'm still not a strong believer of that stock, except for a trader that can buy low and sell high, except for swing trading. Take for instance what happened, like I bought that stock now, not for long time. I bought that stock around, was it 66 kobo or thereabouts? And look at what happened recently. I bought that stock just this year at 66 kobo, and the stock ran over 1 naira. In fact, it did over 100%. That was just that was just a quick swing. But what do we have now? Let me check what we have with Universal Insurance. Let me quickly check how much that stock is currently trading for now. Because so many people make profits, and afterwards those that made profits 100%, 50%, 80%, everybody began to dump that stock again. So for those who understand the markets, what they just do with stocks like that is a quick swing trade to buy when it's very low, and when there is any movement as much as 20%, you are out of that stock. So I'm trying to see Univision. Let me see what we have with Univision. Sakurada, I can't see your screen, but I think that's 1 naira 22 kobo. Am I right?
I can't even find it now. I'm looking
Okay,
for it
I'm
too.
currently checking the last trade we had yesterday. This is 1 naira 22 kobo. So imagine that I said I bought at 66 kobo. Now currently at 1 naira 22 kobo. But the matter is, this kind of stocks continues to rally. Before the insurance stock will be stable, it will be until after this insurance recapitalization has been done. So those that are not solid will merge with other companies to form solid companies. So not until I have the insurance sector structured, I can't believe in stocks like this. So for me, Univision is not yet a long-term thing for me. It's still a swing for me. If I find it below 80 kobo, I can still take advantage. When it comes back to like 1 naira, then I can sell off. So for me, it's a trade and not an investment. All right, thank you.
Okay. If you have Dangote Cement, thank you so much, Coach Benita. If you have Dangote Cement and MTN, I don't think you should panic, because I don't think you should panic for those ones. They are just market correction. All these effects that happened in 2024 is still what they are trying to correct. MTN has done well this year. If you bought MTN as at the beginning of this year, MTN has done over 100%. It has done over 100% this year. So definitely, once any company has done over 100%, there will be market correction, because some people will sell off.
I think it's a time to average down if you have Dangote Cement and MTN.
Okay, somebody wrote in the comment section that she has been trading this long, that you have been trading this long. She started investing in Nigerian stocks, I think, in 2007. She was introduced by her mom. So from what she told me, in 2007, I saw some of the certificates. She showed me some of the, I think you bought Japo then, Coach Benita. You bought
Yes, I did.
Japo, you bought Lasako. So she bought in 2007. So when she was an undergraduate at UNAD then. Okay, let me read this. Please, I have a money for a project next year, April. What stock can I buy now for capital gains? Though I'm thinking of buying TIP and Fidelity. Do you have anything you have to say? This person is direct. Next year,
Okay,
April.
those two stocks you mentioned are actually solid stocks. Now, for the stock market, is likely to continue to have this rally from now till like November, December, and late January, February, March. You see people rushing in. Now, what happens is November, December, people are pulling money out of the stock markets because of Christmas, because of projects. People have projects they want to continue and they don't want to wait. They want to do it at all costs before the end of the year. So you see the markets correcting till around November, December. Now by January, people want to start the year on a fresh note. Their new year resolution is I want to invest in stock markets. So you see people bringing funds into the stock markets. So for those that are taking advantage in December, November, December, when people were selling, They will be in profits late January, February, especially February, March, when you have the first quarter results also coming out. So I think if you want to take position now, it's a time to take position. TIP is a solid stock. You mentioned Dangote Cement, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Somebody
Dangote
mentioned
Cement.
it in
Yes,
somebody
yes.
mentioned
I'm
it in
saying
the
what
comment
the
section.
person. Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
okay.
So they are both solid stocks, but with
The
TIP
MTN
has done. Yeah, MTN is also a solid stock, but with TIP has done a lot of. TIP
rally.
as at November was 1 naira 70 kobo. That stock started
Yes,
moving from one
yes.
naira 70 kobo. In February, it was 2 naira 70 kobo. That stock moved till 17 naira before it began to retrace. So people have made a lot of money in that stock. Even this current rice issue of 7 naira, some people bought way lesser than 7 naira and they might not even be taking it up. Now, why am I saying this? TIP is a solid stock for long term, but I can't exactly tell how far it will go between now and that's April that you want to sell. So, but the thing is, it will still preserve your capital whichever way. So, what you want to look for, let me just say this quickly. What you want to look for is not necessarily everything for capital gain. You also want to preserve that capital. Peradventure, there's a decline in the market. But Dangote Cement is a solid stock to buy. MTN is also a solid stock to buy. But let me see if there's any stock I can mention. Okay, now I would have loved to mention livestock. Reason being that now the last quarter livestock released a poor result and it made people dump this stock. A stock that moved from 3 naira 70 kobo early this year or late last year. It moved to about 10 naira. I think it touched 10 or 11 naira and came back to like 8 naira. Now, for this, if livestock should release a good result in the first quarter, in the next quarter now, then they are going to have that stock rally. And it's my rally till if it also releases a good result, first quarter next year might also have its rally. So I'm looking at livestock. I'm looking at I'm trying to see what can still happen with USCN between now and that time. Fidelity, okay, the person mentioned Fidelity. Fidelity is
Yes,
a
yes.
solid stock, but nothing let me say Fidelity is a stock for investors because nothing so much has happened in that stock this year, but it's just a stock that is waiting for its own time. Just like every stock has its own time. That stock is waiting for its own time, and we might also see that stock move as well. So, but
Okay,
if you're investing in Dangote Cement, if you're investing in MTN, it's going to preserve your capital. Even if you don't have so much capital gains, your capital is still going to be preserved. But if you want much capital gains, you might want to look at stocks that don't have so much high prices. So mix your stock between those capital gains, those MTN, Dangote Cement, and look at other stocks that don't have solid stocks that don't also have so much high prices. Reason being that, okay, let me quickly educate us on this. Now, for every stock to move from a particular amount to another, you need a single person to make a purchase of 100,000 units. So if a stock is selling for, let's say, Dangote Cement is selling for I think 519 or thereabouts, maybe five something now. For that stock to move from five something to the next price, somebody has to make a single purchase of 100,000 units for that stock to change in price. So now, how many people will come into the market with what's 100,000 units now times 500 naira? That's about 5 million or thereabouts. So somebody has to come into the market with 5 million naira for that price to change. So that's why I'm saying that your MTN and Dangote Cement will preserve your capital between now and that time. But for market gains, you want to look at stocks that are not so high in price. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So just like I was saying, livestock is about 8 naira plus or thereabouts. Let me check. I think
it's
oh, not
yeah.
in this
It's
part.
around that.
I'm
It has
checking
been around
another
that
part.
region for a while.
Yeah, but the reason why that stock is punished now is because they released a last quarter result that didn't look so
So good.
fantastic.
Okay. Please, you also okay. I'm coming. Mr. Christopher spoke. Okay, Mr. Christopher, I've dropped my WhatsApp number, so you can just message me after the class. Anybody that wants to message me, you can message me through that WhatsApp number. It's 08081008686. So that's the WhatsApp number. Just message me. That's my official WhatsApp number. So
I think
Jais
Dangote
Bank.
Sugar is also looking good.
Now, somebody asked about Dangote Sugar. Dangote Sugar, I think Coach
Dangote
Benita
Sugar is looking good.
is
USCN is
looking
looking
good,
good.
especially at that price now. USCN is looking good. CWG is good for long term, yes. Now, somebody said, I bought Bois Cement at 183. It's currently 153. Should I sell off?
Okay, so
Don't
if
sell
such
at a
person
loss.
has been okay.
Okay, no. Come up, ma.
Okay, so if such person has been in this webinar from the beginning, I believe that we have answered that question before now.
Mm-hmm.
If you have not, if you didn't join us when the webinar started, I would like you to go back and watch this webinar. Reason being that it's not enough for us to tell you sell, don't sell. You need to know the reason behind why you are selling or
Thank
why
you.
you are holding. So I can
Yes.
tell you sell or don't sell, but the matter is why. Do you know your why? So now, let me say this quickly also that when you are buying a stock, always know your why. Somebody has in the comment section just now that he wants to buy now and sell around April, which means that what this person is going to buy is going to be different for someone that is on a long term because your investment goal is already different. So now to answer that question, because of our time, you bought at 184, you already bought I already gave solution to that. If you have more funds, Boa Cement is also a solid stock. You can average down now that there's a buying opportunity in the market. That stock is on sale. You bought that stock at the normal price. It's like going to the supermarket and buying a particular product at the normal price. And now you have seen that same product on sale. So it's an opportunity for you. So when you buy more of it and you average down, it reduces your price, your current price that you bought. So your 184 can move from 184 and come to let's say 160 something. So by the time that market begins to retrace, it retraces from your 150 something back to 160 something earlier than you are waiting for it to move from 160 something to 184. So two options you have. If you have more cash, you can average down because it's on sale. If you don't have more cash, just be patient, just to wait. Especially if you're on a long term, just wait. And if you're in short term, why sell when you didn't make your profit? Because the reason why you bought initially is to make profit. So why sell? In a nutshell, it's not a time to sell, it's a time to still hold.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Okay, me and Madam Flores asked, what about Jais Bank? Jais Bank is good for long term. Is currently at the price is good. What of Transpar? Mr. Onyeka, I don't. Coach Benita, can you say something about Transpar?
Okay, my transfer is not on my watch list.
It's not on your watch list, okay?
It's not on my watch list. The matter is, yeah, okay, let me say this quickly also. You can't, excuse me, you can't own every stock. So for me,
Yeah.
a stock I'm not holding, I'm not or I don't intend to hold, I might not follow so closely. Of course, I'm watching so many stocks just because I have people's portfolio in my hands that I need to manage. But for transfer, it's not one of the stock that I'm either holding at the moment or I've purchased for any of my clients. So I'm probably not watching transfer. But if you want to watch transfer, you can check their day-to-day trades and you can also check their fundamentals. You want to go to their books, check if they are making profits from time to time.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ma. Okay, Mr. Christopher also asked, okay, how do I open an account directly with a broker rather than the Bamboo app? Okay, I resign. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Don't worry. By the time you chat me, we'll definitely give you a link. It will be open. The stockbroker accounts that you can even trade will be opened for you. Okay. I have Access Corp. I have Jais Bank. I have Japan Gold. Okay, in your portfolio, and it's doing badly. Jais Bank, I don't think Jais Bank is doing badly. Access Core is a good stock. Access Core, which means Access Bank, is a good buy. It's only that it has stayed on a spot for a long time, and it's going to peak over time. Just stick to your why. Japan Gold, we don't know. I don't know what is happening with Japan Gold. Just like I said, Coach Benita said she bought it. I saw the certificates. She bought it in 2007, Japan Gold. It's almost still at the same price since then. I was even telling her maybe she should go and check. She should check maybe the stock split or maybe bonus issue, but she's not even, because then I think you bought it around 2 naira.
I can't
Coach
even
Benita,
remember the price I bought,
I guess that's the
but
certificate you showed me
it was
that day,
around the
Japan Gold.
range.
I guess you
I
bought it
can't
for 2
remember the
naira.
price I bought precisely.
Okay.
But
So
I think
please,
there's currently a restructure in that particular stock, but not until I see enough movement, I don't think I will venture into it.
okay. Mr. Glory, how can we check for fundamental and technical analysis before buying a stock? Get the
Hmm.
cost 2.0. Go through cost 1.0, then go through cost 2.0. It will give you access to that. It is explained in cost 2.0. And if you have any question, you can come on that group that you'll be added to, ask your question. But it will introduce you. The sites you'll be using to analyze stocks is being stated in cost 2.0. It's being stated in cost 2.0. At least the reason why we had that course majorly is so that the basic knowledge that people need. As a chartered accountant, I can tell you that there are so many things I was taught, and they were just theories, bunch of theories, until I started practicalizing it in the stock market. Then it made sense to me. So fundamental analysis, technical analysis, you'll get it into cost 2.0. So get it. And what you can see on your screen, Coach Benita is going to be having a live trading, teaching people how to trade live. Just like I said, example, I used an app to buy champs at 3 naira. That second day, I think second day or third day, she bought it at 2 naira 50 kobo or so. Why? Because she used a trading platform. Me, I don't use trading platform. That one that I used, not that I don't use a trading platform, I have a trading platform, but I was just using it to, how do I put it now? I use it to invest monthly. I just put a particular amount in it. That app, I use MediTrade for that, and I bought it at 3 naira, but she was able to get it to 15 naira. Just like I said on Friday, she got Arade. Arade currently now on almost every app is 519, but she got it for 490. You said 490, right?
To get for a
Yes.
client of mine at
You
490.
got it for a client for 490. Okay. So I guess we have come to the end. Can I keep my full gas for long term? Keep your full gas for long term, especially for dividend. First Bank is yet to move. UBA is yet to move. Access Bank is yet to move. Those stocks are still going to move. Zenith and GTCO, will be competing on dividend by next year. Anything from next year, they'll be competing on dividend. Can you recommend a trading platform for me, Coach? When you say trading platform, is it for your analysis or for buying and selling? Mr. Samuel, WAPCO. I don't know about WAPCO.
Wapco is a
Can I
solid
buy?
stock.
Okay, WAPCO is a solid stock. So Coach Benita said it's a solid stock. We are trying to round up now. Okay, for those asking for the recorded version will be on this channel. Just check under the live session. Instead of under the videos, check under the live session, you will see it. For buying and selling. Okay, for buying and selling, you can use either Morgan Capital or Atlas Portfolio. Morgan Capital or Atlas Portfolio for trading, yes. But if you really now want to know how it works, then join the cost 2.0 group. You will understand
Okay,
better.
Mr. Korede, let me say this quickly also that it's not like these apps are not good or they are not efficient also. Many of them are also registered. Many of them are registered and they are also good companies to work with, except that we have this major difference that you can't see what is going on in the market real time. So most of those apps give you what has happened the previous day, unlike when you can see what is going on in the market that day. Just like Mr. Cordy was saying, that I made some purchases for some of my clients on Friday. Like I bought the Haradel at 490. It was trading at the current market price was 519, and I was able to buy at 490. Now, when we say trading, trading has to do with offers and bids. It means buyers and sellers.
Okay.
It has to do with sentiment in the market. How well can you negotiate? So people are coming with prices either above or below the market price. For you also, you either want to buy below the market price, at the market price, or above the market price, depending on what is happening currently in the market. So if you don't know what is happening in the market, you don't even know how much to bid, either to bid at the current market price or to bid below the current market price or to even bid above the current market price, because that happens when we have little offers in the market. You want to bid above the current market price so that you are able to get that particular stock. So the reason for the webinar, for the closed group webinar, is because we want people to understand how they can get discounts even below the current market price. And peradventure the stock is selling above the current market price, how they don't miss out of that opportunity and they are still able to get it. On Friday, I think I was able to get one of a particular stock for one of my clients far below the about 8% below the current market price. And that was a first time client. The person just started investing in stocks. So just at the closing of that day alone, she was already about, all the stocks I got for her, she was already about 6 point something percent up, over 6% up in just one day. Why? Just because I understood how to bargain and I can get below the market price. So that's the reason why you use a trading platform where you can see what is going on real time. And the reason why we are teaching people this is because instead of losing lots of funds, little funds that looks like they are little, the stock I bought at 490 on Friday, I saw someone buy at I think a little above 500, and the person bought 90,000. So imagine 90,000 units times the discount I got. I got about, let's say, 11 or 12 naira discount compared to what this person bought. So if you multiply 90,000 naira by 12, you see that's a lot of money that could have bought more units of those stocks. So that's the reason why we are teaching this. And it's not as if we can't have an open group just like we have today. But the matter is, you might not understand until you have the basic knowledge of all these things. Okay, if you want to get the course, you can go through it so that by the time we are doing this analysis, you are not just looking like a novice, like somebody that doesn't know anything about the stock market. And that's why we have made the stock course 1.0 also free, so that the basic knowledge people need, at least the very first hand information, you can get it from this free course. So if you know that you still don't know about stock markets, please go through this free course and see, get adequate information, get knowledge, and if you want to proceed to the next one, you can also do. And even apart from that, we have so many informations online. Just get information, know what you are investing in. Don't just go in blindly. You want to understand what you are doing, not just getting stock recommendation and buying. You want to know what you are doing and you want to know why you are doing it. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so just like okay, I don't have your official line. Can you type? Is there a way you can type your official line?
Unfortunately, I don't even know my official line offhand. So what I'm going to do is, you all can go to um
CIF Academy.
CIF Academy.
Yes,
So
you
you
say
go to
WhatsApp.
www.cifacademy.com.ng. So if you have access to the regular WhatsApp group, the general WhatsApp group, you have access to me.
Okay, so you got that. Okay, so Nigerian Breweries, USCN, Dangote Sugar, the three of them you mentioned, Mr. I don't know whether it's Mrs. or Master, they are good stocks for long term. If you want to do all those short term, medium term, I think it's Coach Benita that does that. For me, I do other things. Please, do you trade crypto? If yes, which is the best exchange to use? For crypto, I'll use Bybits. Bybits for crypto. That's what I use. But I've heard that Luno is okay. I've heard of, but I know of Bybits. So that's the one I use personally. So, okay. So, what's any other question before we say goodbye? Okay, can I use Stanbic IBTC? Of course, you can use Stanbic IBTC to buy and sell stock. Yes, you can use IBTC. What is the difference between legacy across and SS holding? SS holding is the bank. They just became an holding, so it's the bank. I don't know legacy across. Then on claim dividend, you need to reach out to your registrar. Search the non-gov mandated. There's a search bar there. Just do that. I need short term. Short term words. We can't answer all the questions. That's just it. But we have tried our best. So, but if you have any other question, so just like you said, take the course 2.0. The link is in the description of this video. And this video, the recorded, it will be on this channel. Check under the live session. So some of the steps you need to take in order to still connect with either Coach Benita or Mr. Korede Alayaki. And if you want to connect with both, we have a WhatsApp group where we are both admin. And once you get to cifacademy.com.ng, the WhatsApp icon that is there will lead you down to us. Then you can have access to us. Definitely, it's not going to be free because we are going to be. It's our time, especially Coach Benita. So, thank you so much. And finally, Coach Benita normally have a webinar on a weekend. I think for now, Saturdays. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. Like next week now, she'll be talking about 10 common mistakes to avoid in the Nigerian stock market. Common mistakes to avoid in the Nigerian stock markets. The mistakes she has seen people made over time from managing people's portfolio. So that's what she will be talking about next week. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. Check the description of this video. And okay, maybe I should even... Okay, check the description of this video. You see Coach Benita's YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. And from there, let's take it up. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you. Thank you, Coach Benita, also for co-hosting. Thank you for the knowledge shared. Really appreciate you. God bless you. We really say thank you to every of our viewers as well. And those who will be coming after to watch this, thank you. And if you know anybody who will be needing, also share it with them. Thank you. God bless you. Till we meet next. Okay.
Oh, thank yeah, I was about to give my final word before we leave so that people can also remember. So before we leave, I would like to say, be fair, just like I was saying the other time, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. That's according to Warren Buffett. And he also said the stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. It's designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. So it favors the patient on the long run. So don't panic, don't rush. Just position yourself where the wealth flows quietly. That'll be my last word for you tonight, and we can call it a day from here. Thank you everyone for having me, and have a good night rest.
Thank you, Ma. God bless you.